Hey everybody, and welcome to month 5 of the Eclectic Readers Club. This month we have the genre of science fiction and fantasy, and we're pairing it with the topic of community, which is a really easy pairing to do because at the end of the day, if you're reading science fiction or fantasy, kind of the point of it is that it's going to have a very specific sort of community, people, landscape, it's creating kind of another world for us. So you're going to have community probably whether you like it or not. You don't even have to go hunting this month. So the one little bit that I wanted to chat about this month and kind of get everybody thinking about is, what is fantasy? Where is that dividing line? It's like we have fiction, which already means a story is not true, right? So what makes it go from just plain old made up stuff to fantasy? Where's that next level? Why do we have this genre? What does it really mean? So, do you want to talk about it as a family or roll it over in your group? That's what we did at our meeting this month, is we had a little chat at the beginning of, what does it mean? What is this extra level? So everybody kind of had their thoughts about it. My personal thoughts that I shared, that I'll share with you, is that to me, the difference between fiction and fantasy was kind of the same between having a daydream and dreaming at night while you're sleeping. So that if we have a daydream, we're letting our minds wander, we're sort of roaming around, fantasizing about stuff, but we're in control of it at the end of the day. Much as we're letting our thoughts drift on the wind, we are still in control of it. We may even be purposefully trying to get to a certain thought or a certain destination within it. So we may be kind of just letting ourselves go with it. But at the end of the day, we're awake, we're conscious, and we're driving it. Whereas at night, when we're dreaming, are we in charge of it? Yes. Our brains are in charge, and they're making these thoughts for us, but it's our subconscious instead of our conscious mind. So our subconscious brain goes to places that sometimes defy explanation, right? Like we may suddenly be roller skating in Antarctica with a herd of fish. Like, who knows? We wake up and go, what? Or it can even go to places we really don't want it to go, where we have bad dreams. So it's this extra level of dreaming. We have our daydreams that go to one step, and then our night dreams that go to another. And so that to me is kind of the difference between the two. Is fiction, yes, it is made up, but it's still kind of in the here and now, and very like you can reach out and touch it. It makes sense. Like we've seen it to some extent, possibly, or we can imagine that others have seen it. Whereas when you take it to fantasy, it's that much more. It's like the theatrical version, where it gives it that extra element, where it pushes our ability to believe it. We may want to, but at the same time, we can't necessarily go, oh yeah, that probably happens over in this place over here, or I'm sure somebody's experienced this. There might be elements that are very real, but it goes above and beyond and takes it to a place that requires its own world and its own set of rules and its own playbook, much like our night dreams do. So that's just my thought, but it's a great idea to roll around and ask yourselves, like, where's that borderline? So when we were reading this month, sometimes it was hard to go, is this fantasy? Like, for instance, we were reading the last of the really great Wang Doodles, and that book bounces between. Sometimes the kids are in real everyday life, and then all of a sudden they're in Wang Doodle land, and that's fantasy. So it was an interesting one to kind of see how they can weave in and out and transfer back and forth. So roll it around, think about it. But whatever else you're doing, you're talking about, just make sure you're still reading and exploring and staying curious. And we'll see you next month. Thanks.